My name is Bryson. I'm an assistant professor in the biological engineering department and a member of the Reagan Institute. Maybe to start, I'll tell you how I ended up where I am today, which is a series of very, very fortunate events and just going with the flow. So I actually came to MIT as an undergraduate from Houston, Texas in 2003, where the extent of my kind of engineering education was a computer science class in my senior year of high school. And so I came to MIT thinking okay, I really like problems in biology, but my best experience thus far was with my computer science team in high school. And so I thought I was going to study computer science, and I quickly realized that just wasn't going to be for me. And I went back to where my heart was, and my heart was really in the interface between biology and engineering. I had actually applied to Johns Hopkins with the goal of getting into the biomedical engineering program there, and I didn't get in. And my family said, well, you got into MIT, go and figure it out. And so I did. So what did I do? I studied mechanical engineering because I thought that was going to be a really good basic fundamentals of engineering, because at the time the biological engineering undergraduate major didn't exist. And then I found a way to really bridge my interests between engineering problems and biology. But then at the end of my undergrad degree, I realized, I can do a lot of engineering. I can make this thing, I can build this instrument, I can build this microfluidic device to understand and to really try to culture these liver cells that we were trying to culture at the time. But what I realized is we can build a device to do almost anything we want, but we can't get the cells to behave the way that we want to. And so that really inspired me to figure out how cells behave. And so what did I do? I went to I actually didn't go anywhere. I stayed at MIT for my PhD in biological engineering, but I said I have to change fields. And I decided that I would change fields and really try to get at this question of how do cells respond to their environment, how do they make decisions. So long story short, I spent 5.5 very good years in a PhD program at MIT. And then at the end of my PhD, I realized I'd been working on problems in cancer and type 2 diabetes, but my family actually grew up, or my grandparents actually grew up in very tropical places. So my grandpa had both malaria and yellow fever as a child. And he told me, he said, as you think about what you want to do next, remember that infectious diseases, they're still a problem. I said, okay, you're right. So what did I do? I opened up Dr. Google and I said, who is somebody who studies infectious diseases but is willing to have, somebody with my skill set? And so I had my heart set really hard on moving to California and starting it fresh. And I wasn't really finding what I wanted. And so I actually ended up going to talk to somebody at the Harvard School of Public Health, and I said, here's my skill set, this is what I want to do next. And we actually just really hit it off. And, lo and behold, what I thought was going to be a 30-minute conversation turned into a 4-hour conversation, where at the end of the conversation, I was like, why don't you just do a postdoc with me? And so I said, as you can realize maybe that I sometimes don't take a lot of time in making a decision. And I said, that sounds great, cool. So I knew nothing about tuberculosis at the time. And, but then I realized I'm gonna be spending the next 5 years of my life studying, the world's most leading cause of infectious disease death. Tuberculosis is a huge problem, remains a huge problem, one of human history's top 10 killers. That's how I, and so then at the end of my postdoc, I said, what do I want to do next? And I realized that I still really enjoyed research, and I thought I had a few more questions that I wanted to answer. And so there was an opportunity at MIT to join the faculty, and I applied, and here I am today.